In this video, I'm going to have a look at downloading and installing a Windows 10 development environment virtual machine using VMware Workstation Player. So a virtual machine can essentially be thought of as running a full operating system within the window of another full operating system. So in the example shown, you see that I've got a Windows 10 host PC, and within this, VMware Workstation Player is installed, and within VMware Workstation Player is another Windows 10 operating system, which is the Windows 10 development environment. So the Windows 10 development environment is designed for developers and software testers to basically install a throwaway virtual machine. So it'll work fine and then expire after 50 days. And after 50 days, you can basically just download an up-to-date version of the virtual machine and continue. Okay, so one thing to note is that you're essentially running Windows 10 twice when you're doing this. So your system's going to need to have at least double the system requirements to run Windows 10. And I would only recommend running this if you've got a 6th generation Intel i5 processor or later, at least 8 GB of RAM, because you're going to assign 4 to the virtual machine, and you want at least a 120 GB spare on a solid state drive. So let's go ahead and download VMware Workstation Player by visiting the VMware website. Now the latest version is version 16. The VMware website mentions version 15.5 but gives you the download to version 16. So launch the setup and accept the user account control prompt, and then select next, and then accept the license agreement, and then select next, and then select next. You can optionally join the VMware Customer Experience Program. You can optionally add shortcuts to your start menu or desktop, and finally select finish. So when you go ahead and launch VMware Workstation Player, you'll be prompted for a license. So you'll need a license if you want to use it commercially, but if you're using it at home or non-commercially, you can use it for free. Okay, so the next thing you'll want to do is power off your PC and press F2 to get to the UEFI BIOS setup if you're using a Dell. If you're using a Lenovo, press F1 to get to the UEFI BIOS setup. And you want to expand virtualization support. So you'll need to enable Intel virtualization technology, enable VT for direct input and output. The trusted execution you don't need to enable unless you plan to use BitLocker. So basically this setting allows you to port a TPM across to your virtual machine from your physical hardware. And this can be used with the likes of BitLocker to encrypt your virtual machine. And we're not going to do this for just a throwaway developer environment virtual machine. So secure boot is enabled as expected. And if you've made changes, select apply, and then save the changes, and then exit UEFI BIOS setup. Okay, so now that we've got VMware Workstation Player installed and we've got the virtualization technologies enabled in the UEFI BIOS setup, what we want to do is download the Windows 10 development environment virtual machine from Microsoft. Now this is a pretty large download because it's got, first of all, the Windows 10 operating system, and it's got VMware Tools, and it's also got Visual Studio 2019 included with it alongside some other developer tools. So it's about 20 GB in size, so it will take a while to download. And because it is such a large file, I would recommend checking the file checksums to make sure that you've got a complete download. So in order to do this, we're going to open up the downloads folder, and we're just going to copy and paste the location from the address bar. Next, we're going to open up PowerShell by right-clicking the Start button and selecting Windows PowerShell. And then we're going to type in certutil and then space and then dash and then hash file and then space, and then we're going to copy and paste the name of the zip file and then add the .zip extension, and then type in a space and then type in SHA256. So because it is quite a large folder, it will take a while to compute the hash file. So we can highlight the checksum and press Ctrl and C to copy it, and then on the web page press Ctrl and F and paste it, and if it matches then your download is complete. If it does not match, then you have a corrupt download. So next we're going to right click it and we're going to extract it to Documents, and we'll create a folder, My Virtual Machines, and then we'll just rename it the Win Development 2008, and we'll select this folder and select extract. So once again, because this is a pretty large file, it will take a while to extract. Next, we can open the VMware Workstation Player and select Open Virtual Machine. Navigate to this folder and open the virtual machine, and then select Next. So it will take a while to read in this virtual machine, and once it has, it will display within the VMware Workstation Player menu. So you can use the virtual machine with the default settings by just selecting Play Virtual Machine, or if you want better performance, you can edit the virtual machine settings. So you can up the memory to 4 GB, and you can up the number of processors to 2. If you up it to more, you'll get this blue screen of death. For USB, you can change it from USB 2.0 to USB 3.1, and you can accelerate the 3D graphics. So once you've done that, you can launch the VM. Now, in my case, the VM froze during the first boot. So it freezes here, and attempting to restart doesn't work. So you actually need to go ahead and power off the virtual machine. And after powering it off and on again, it should basically boot normally. Okay, so the boot completed, and it'll ask you about connecting to the network, so just select yes. Okay, so the VM has a version of VMware Tools pre-installed. However, it's an older version than the latest, and you'll be informed at the bottom. Now, unfortunately, when you select Update Tools, you'll get this error message. And the reason is because there's no virtual optical drive. Now, most PCs don't have a physical optical drive, so one way to solve this would be just to mount some random ISO and then select Update Tools, and then it will switch the ISO that's mounted to the VMware Tools ISO. Another way of fixing this is essentially just going to packages.vmware.com/tools and then downloading the latest release. So you could do this directly on the virtual machine, or you can do it in the host PC and drag the VMware Tools installer across. So you want the 64-bit Windows installer, and you can just go ahead and install this. Okay, so that gives the latest version of VMware Tools. So select Finish and then select Yes. Now, unfortunately, the dialog at the bottom doesn't go away once VMware Tools have been updated. So you'll just need to select Never Remind Me. So this Windows 10 Developer Environment Virtual Machine is set up for English US. So this can be quite annoying if you're in the UK, for instance. So you can right click the clock and select Adjust Date Time Format, and you can change the time to match the UK. And you can change the regional settings to the UK. And this will give you the 24-hour clock opposed to the AM and PM. So in the States, this is known as military time, I'm told. Next, you'll want to change the keyboard. So the keyboard being on US English is very frustrating because the @ sign and the quotation sign are basically switched along with a couple of other subtle things. And finally, you can change the display language from English United States to English United Kingdom.